So, everyone loves REEGAN. I don't. Nah, it's okay. It's an okay episode. I mean, I don't know. I mean, things though. Okay, out of the 6 episodes, I would say this one's my least favourite. Mainly because it's the only one I'm not particularly fussed over. I mean, there's not really much. Well, there's a bit to say about it, more than the last one. But I just find it really slow. So basically, April starts a therapy group, basically, which she names Buddy Scheme, which Ram describes as, and I quote, a spin-off of a Fate in the 90s sitcom. Which I think is a very odd turn of phrase. I'll have to look up some. But yeah. But one thing I like is the fact that throughout the story, April considers going to Switzerland for a course. So there's a little bit of, okay, I'm going to say teen angst because that's the only phrase I can think of between her and Ram about it. It's a good element. This episode has Tanya in it as well, but she's reduced more to a cameo type role, which is a bit of a shame, really. So when they're talk, there's a lot of involvement, like a lot of cake, like in Life Experience. Ram goes on about food. This one they go on about cake, because April had 4 attempts. There's space brownies that Tanya describes them. Space brownies sound kind of weird. I'm not going to go into details about it. So the episode follows REEGAN, who's the main villain. Hence, everyone loves REEGAN. Excuse me. So, she's apparently a new girl, but after April has a blackout, apparently she started at the beginning of term. So over time, April becomes jealous of REEGAN because REEGAN is becoming more popular, and then eventually gets on a lot of research done on her, sort of like what Quill does with the inspector in Coach the Dragon Tattoo, or Tanya trying to hack Unit. But the way April does it makes it seem a bit excessive, as she poses as a secretary to get information about girls' schools in Manchester, which REEGAN apparently comes from. But then Tanya loses a mock. It's sort of, in the series, it's a big deal as Tanya has a perfect record, if anyone watches the series would probably guess. And REEGAN starts her own buddy scheme, and April gets jealous, basically. So, I would say it's REEGAN driving everyone away, but it's kind of more April, because April's the only one that knows REEGAN's lying. They don't really explain why it doesn't, well, they kind of do, I'll get to it. So cut to the end, everyone gets knocked out by REEGAN, as basically she feeds off their memories but renders them unconscious to do so. And by this point everyone assumes REEGAN was friends with pretty much everyone since primary school. So it's kind of a weird ability. It's sort of like Adam Smith from the tortured episode Adam, in which he manages to steal people's memories and replace himself into them, or the episode of Rick and Morty where there's all those mind parasites pretending to be relatives of the family, but they go silly with that one. So then, sorry, I'm checking my notes. At this point, Mam finds out REEGAN is lying. And April manages to cover up hers, that's why REEGAN can't feed on them. And there's this bit where Ram knocks out REEGAN with an Everybody Loves REEGAN placard. I don't know why I focused on that. I mean, that's the thing with this episode. It's not really noteworthy in types of story. I mean, it's a good idea to have a student be the main villain. I don't recall seeing many student villains in the series, which I think was a missed opportunity there. So REEGAN gets Ram's grief, but since Ram is grief, not just teen angst, but actual grief over the loss of Rachel, it weakens her, So the story ends with Reagan going to Switzerland instead of April. Everyone apologises to April, Tanya and Ram. And the episode, I think the best part of the episode is the ending where April decides that Ram needs to actually talk about his experience rather than just keeping them inside. And it's kind of a good moment for the characters. It's not the typical lovey-dovey stuff, it's more getting to know someone personally, helping them with the baggage as well as the good stuff, the good memories. But with this one, it's not, I wouldn't say it's bad, because I don't think any class story, book, audio, TV is bad. It's one of those ones where you don't feel like anything eventful happened. That's the best way I could summarise it. I say listen to it, just so you can. I mean, if you get the book, you're probably going to get the whole box anyway, that's what I've done. But hopefully the next two stories of Volume 2 should be better. I mean, I know they're better, I've listened to them already, they're brilliant. So, move on to the next one.